So the video explanation you're about to watch will help you solve transversal problems between or problems that involve parallel lines or transversals, but specifically with equations. So here we go. I am going to go ahead and mark this acute angle as yellow, and then the one over here that's vertical to it is also yellow. This is yellow and acute, and this one is vertical as well. Specifically, notice that all the yellow angles are the same. Next, I'm going to use red for this obtuse angle. I'm going to use red for this one. These are vertical. This one is obtuse, which is red, and this one is obtuse, which is red. So when you have parallel lines that are cut by a transversal, really you only have yellows and reds, or two different angles. We can write an equation with two yellows. We can write an equation with two reds. And if you have a mixture of yellow and red, something special happens there. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the way that I've taught people to do this. As I said, yellow is equal to yellow. Red is equal to red. And when you have different colors, if you add them together, they have to be equal to 180. So over here I have red, and over here I have a yellow. Because I have red and yellow, I have to use this one to set it up. So I would write 8x, at least I'm trying to, 8x minus 4 plus 6x minus 12. And our angles, because they're different, when we add them together, they should add up to 180. I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to circle my x terms. 8x and 6x simplifies to 14x. I'm going to underline the constant term of negative 4 and underline the constant term of negative 12. Negative 4 minus 12 is negative 16. So the equation simplifies to 14x minus 16 equals 180. Then I'll add 16 on both sides. The negative 16, positive 16 cancels to 0. So 14x plus 0 would simplify to just 14x. No reason including the 0. 180 plus 16 is 196. And then to get rid of this coefficient, which is the number in front of the variable, we'll divide by 14 on both sides. On the left, 14 divided by 14 simplifies to 1, but 1 multiplied by x would simplify to just x. And then 196 divided by 14 is equal to 14. So my solution to the first one, when I was given a red and yellow angle, is that they have to add up to 180. Number 2. So I'm going to grab my highlighter. Again, I'm going to mark all the acute angles as being yellow. I'm going to grab my red marker, and all the obtuse angles are red. So the angles that I've been given are two yellow angles, which these are actually vertical. But since yellow equals yellow, I would write 6x minus 7 is equal to 4x minus 1. I can't combine the variable and constant on the left, and I cannot combine the variable and constant on the right. So next, I like to focus on the variable, since everything has to do with solving for x. And I notice I have 6 x's on the left and 4 x's on the right. So I like moving it to the side that's larger. Since 6x is larger, I want to group all my x's on the left, which means I would have to subtract 4x on both sides to move that 4x to the other side. 6x minus 4x is 2x. Bring down the subtract 7, bring down your equal sign, bring down the negative 1. After that, I'm going to add 7 on each side to move the constant terms all to the right. So 2x plus 0 would simplify to 2x, and then negative 1 plus 7 would simplify to 6. Finally, we'll get rid of the coefficient of 2 by dividing by 2 on each side. On the left, 2 over 2 is 1, and 1 times x would simplify to x. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3. And the solution to example 2 is x equals 3. All right, let's do 2 more. Example 3. Yellow, oops, my apologies. Yellow, 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 yellow. Grab red, 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 and red. So in this problem, we have a combination, oh, we got 2 reds. Well, reds are the same, right? So we did learn in class that this is called corresponding angles, and that'll help you next year in Math 1. But to make it super simple is red equals red, right? So I would write 6x plus 20 has to be equal to 8x minus 10. Again, I usually look to combine like terms, but I can't because on the left I have variable and constant, and then on the right I have variable and constant as well, and we can't mix those. So I focus on the variable. On the left I have 6x. On the right I have 8x. 8x is larger, so I'll move this 6x from the left side to the right side by subtracting 6x on both sides of the equation. 6x minus 6x is 0, and 0 with 20 would simplify to just 20. 8x minus 6x is 2x, and then bring down the negative 10. To isolate 2x, I would add 10 on both sides of the equation. Let's see, 20 plus 10, that's going to result in 30. And then since over here, negative 10, positive 10 simplifies to 0, you could write 2x plus 0, but why waste time? In other words, we're just going to simplify to 2x. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide by 2 on each side. 30 divided by 2 is 15. On the right side, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then obviously 1 times x would simplify to x. So example 3, 15 is equal to x. Let's do one more and then we'll call it quits. So grabbing our highlighter, the acute angles are yellow and the obtuse angles are red. And notice we have a combination of yellow and red, so the equation would involve adding them together. So I'm going to put 2x plus 5, that's my yellow angle, plus 8x plus 5 has to be equal to 180. Different colors have to add up to 180. Now I do want to remind you that this is actually called a linear pair. By definition, a pair is 2 angles. And if you have 2 angles that are adjacent or next to each other, in other words, 2 angles that make a straight line, they have to add up to 180. So a linear pair is a big idea you're also going to need next year in Math 1. With this equation, I am going to start by circling my variable terms. Those will combine, and that would simplify to 10x. And then the constant term of plus 5 and plus 5, that simplifies to 10. Next, I would subtract 10 on each side to move that constant term of 10 to the other side. That'll cancel to give us 0, but 10x plus 0 is just 10x. On the right, 180 minus 10 is 170. And then lastly, we'll divide by 10 on each side. And 10 divided by 10 is 1. And then obviously, if that's 1, we know that 1 times x simplifies to just x. On the right, 170 divided by 170 divided by 10 is 17. And we'll box that. X equals 17. And that's it. So hopefully you found this video helpful. And yeah, thanks for taking the time to view. I appreciate it.